Sheriff's office, open the door. Sheriff's office, open the door. Step out. Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
It's over there.
Drop the gun!
I don't have it.
312, shots fired. Suspect down.
The family maintains the deputy who shot Roger Fortson never identified himself when he arrived at the apartment. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump now represents his family, along with attorneys from the Levin Papatonio Rafferty law firm in Pensacola. They together held a news conference today. The Okaloosa County Sheriff later held his own press conference to address the shooting and release that body camera video.
We have team coverage tonight, and first we go to Tanner Stewart. And Tanner, Fortson's mother and her attorneys say there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
That's right. So, and within the last hour, we received a statement from Colonel Patrick Deering, the commander of the 1st Special Operations Wing at Hurlburt Field, saying in part that Roger Fortson was a decorated combat veteran. Their condolences are with the family, and they're letting the legalities of this case play out. We also heard, though, as you mentioned, from Roger Fortson's mother, who expressed just how much her son meant to her and their family.
They just said, oh yeah, he shot up. He shot up. Our baby was shot up.
He was shot 6 times.
Emotional at times, Mika Fortson stood tall when speaking of her son Roger. She says the 23-year-old senior airman was their protector.
My baby was my everything. Roger was my 3rd son. Where we come from, you don't end up where Roger ended up. Roger wanted to show a 16-year-old brother that it was more to life than gangster rap, killing people, stealing, and making a fool of himself. Roger wanted to show his mama that raised 5 kids that didn't know where credit was, how to have something.
Roger Fortson was the best America had to offer. He was a patriot. He was a U.S. Airman, special ops. I mean, he was fighting for our way of life.
Attorney Ben Crump insists police busted into the wrong apartment, saying they know there were no disturbances. Police were called to the Elon apartments after the leasing office complained of a disturbance between a male and female. Crump says Roger was alone.
He had been playing video games up until 4 o'clock, had only been home for 30 minutes. His girlfriend reported that when she called him a little before, around 3, that he was playing games, he would be home at 4 and he would call her when he got home. And that's exactly what he did. He was just in his apartment minding his business. And then around 4:30, this cascade of tragic events started to take place. It wasn't a gun exchange. He never fired a weapon or anything. He respected authority. Had he known they were the police, there is nothing in his background, nothing in his background to say that had he known they were the police, he would not have just opened up his apartment.
What happened next is at the center of debate. Crump says police didn't identify themselves. He says Roger's girlfriend was on a FaceTime call with him at the time.
She talked about how he went to the door to look through the peephole, but it was as if somebody was covering up the peephole so he couldn't see out of it. And he kept saying, "Who is it?" And how he went and retrieved his legally registered gun as a gun owner to protect his house, and how he was walking back and the door was open, and then how she said that she just heard shots.
Pensacola attorney Brian Barr says Roger's family deserves to learn more on the case, and they'll continue fighting until they do.
And his home, from his perspective, is broken into. We're not saying that. I mean, you don't hear that narrative. His home was broken into. It doesn't matter who it was, who broke in. He has the right to protect his home. We want to know what happened. We want the mistakes to be owned. That's our job. And we're not going away until that transparency happens. And we're not going to let them forget Roger.
Amen.
That's not going to happen, not on our watch, not to this kid, not to this family.
Now we know the Fortson family, along with their attorneys, met privately with Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aden, and they were the first to see this body cam footage that was released this afternoon. Coming up in just a bit, Karis Harmon will be joining us to show us more on that. Reporting live in Okaloosa County, I'm Tanner Stewart.